Hello, everyone. I'm Elena Bartolini, the moderator of today's event. I'd like to welcome everyone in Timișoara, Romania, Limerick, Ireland, and Lisbon, Portugal, and to those following online, as you're now about to enter the in-flight call with European Space Agency astronaut Thomas Pesquet on board the International Space Station. This in-flight call is dedicated to education and the theme Space in Our Daily Life. We will be talking with Thomas live from the Columbus module. As I mentioned, we have 3 European sites connected in today and preparing to talk with Thomas. At each of these sites, teachers and students have been participating in local events throughout the day, which have been organized by the National Space Education Resource Offices, known for short as AZEROs. The AZERO program is ESA's umbrella project for supporting the primary and secondary school education community in Europe. AZEROs are offices established in ESA member states, which operate in the country's language and support the teacher community in their daily delivery of the national school curricula. There are currently 10 AZERO offices covering 13 countries around Europe. AZEROs partner with the national education institutions, ministries of education, and space agencies to provide teacher training and professional development, classroom resources, information about space careers, and competitions and hands-on projects for students. AZERO's main objective is to use space as a context to excite and inspire students to engage in science and technology. At each of the local events in Romania, Ireland, and Portugal, the teachers and students have had the opportunity to hear from national space experts about the many benefits of space technologies, exploration, and research, exploring how space contributes to the advancement of society through spin-offs and innovation, promoting international cooperation, and providing inspiration. In just a few minutes, teachers in each country will have the opportunity to ask questions about this to Thomas Pesquet. To kick off the event, we'll begin by going around Europe with a round of introductions from each of our connected sites. We'll begin with Romania. To our friends in Timișoara, please go ahead.
Bună ziua! I am Cristina Stancu from AZERO, Romania, live from Timișoara. We are very excited to have the chance to be able to ask some questions to ESA's astronaut Thomas Pesquet. We have here over 300 participants from all over the country, and most of them are teachers. We would like to send a warm greeting to everybody watching, and also especially to our colleagues from AZERO Ireland and Portugal. We want to thank Mr. Dorin Prunariu, the first Romanian cosmonaut who had the mobility to be here today, who explained to us about how space research impacts our daily life. He also talked about the space research in general and what's been happening on the ISS. We would also like to thank our educational partners, without whom we cannot reach our goals. A special thank you goes to our hosts here at the West University in Timișoara that made possible today's event. Let me start off by telling you a bit more about what's been happening today. We had a full morning. The students and the teachers went outside and went to the Experimentarium, the science museum, where they tried to do and actually realized physics experiments in chemistry and physics. Afterwards, we had 2 teacher workshops. One of them involved meteorological satellites, Earth observation and positioning, and another one combines AstroPi. AstroPi, as you know, it's an ESA's educational kit, it's an educational program that involves a small computer in which students can code and send their code up to space, hooked by a series of sensors. And they can code their own experiments, and they possibly go up. In the afternoon, we had an interesting panel discussion with educators and entrepreneurs. During the discussion, students and teachers alike learned more about space activities and applications in Romania, in Europe, and opportunities in the sector. AZERO Romania has been involved in a large number of activities in its short life of just 2 years. We train teachers, inspiring them to use space as a context to become comfortable with teaching science and technology. We create awareness with the scientific community and showcase that everybody, literally everybody, can get involved in science and technology. One remarkable example comes from a primary school teacher that started to build an actual spacesuit, a mock-up of it. She had the design made with her second graders. Afterwards, they had the idea to send the spacesuit to another school to improve on it. Thus, we had the back and forth, and the project became a concept prototype. Of course, we hold another type of engagement dear here at Azero Romania with hands-on competitions. Hands-on competitions play a very big part of what we do. One of them is the CanSat competition, where you have to fit all the satellite systems in a small soda can. Afterwards, coming back to Terra Firma, we have the rover competition, XRO, where students had to build up a robotic arm and had to take pictures of the soil that they had their mission on, which was at the Modi volcanoes, picturing a lunar landscape. Also, we had excellent feedbacks from the students, and we hope that everybody shared their enthusiasm and maybe they will get to do something in the STEM field. Thus, from people that we use our space products daily with our very own positioning system in the back of our pockets, to our global communication is just a swipe away, we tend to be from consumers of technology, we get to be actual creators of technology. After today's program, it is clear that space benefits humanity as it offers a solution to modern-day problems like remote sensing and navigation, global communication, weather applications, and so on. I have here some of my friends, probably my future colleagues, that are coming to the stage, and they're going to demonstrate an experiment with the gyroscope. So, satellites track their pointing direction using the same approach as on submarines and spacecraft. Gyroscopes maintain a fixed orientation, which I'm going to ask my future colleague Daniel and Robert to help me out with in this experiment. So we're going to demonstrate the spinning stop. Astronauts have experimented with toy gyroscopes in the weightlessness environment. So what you can see, it's an actual spin stabilized. So remember, the future isn't a place that we go, it's a place that we get to create. Now let's switch to our colleagues in Ireland. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Good afternoon from Limerick. Good afternoon, everybody watching. Good afternoon, Alana. Good afternoon to the many teachers and students gathered in Portugal and Romania, and in particular to my Azero colleagues there. Welcome to the Millennium Theatre here in Limerick Institute of Technology. My name is Stephanie O'Neill, and I work for Science Foundation Ireland, the national funding agency for science research. And I'm also the Azero Ireland manager. We're here at Limerick Institute of Technology on the west coast of Ireland with 300 fifth-class primary students from counties Limerick, Kildare and Tipperary, and also their teachers. We've had an incredible morning here in Limerick, where the students have been learning all about space and how important space is in our everyday lives. With the help of the fantastic teachers, we've been able to organise this event. I would like to say a huge thank you to them. In Azero, we believe that teachers have the most important role in supporting and inspiring their students about science and technology. Together with the European Space Agency, Science Foundation Ireland started Azero Ireland about 7 years ago. Since the beginning, our focus has been on supporting teachers and working closely with them using space as a very rich and inspiring context to teach space. Science Foundation Ireland is a national foundation for investment in scientific and engineering research. Science Foundation Ireland invests in academic researchers and research teams who are most likely to generate new technology, new knowledge, leading-edge technologies, and competitive enterprises in the field of science, technology, engineering, or maths, or STEM. As well as managing the Azero Ireland office, Science Foundation Ireland has an education and public engagement programme, and we manage and support many STEM projects and programmes, such as Discover Primary Science and Maths, where we work with primary schools supporting science and teaching and learning. Smart Futures is our STEM careers programme, where we promote STEM careers. We work with Science Week, Space Week, and the other STEM weeks. This year, Azero is delivering science education workshops to over 1,000 primary teachers in over 100 schools. We will also work with secondary teachers to support the new science curriculum at second level here in Ireland. Azero Ireland also manages the exciting CANSAT competition that Christina mentioned. This replicates a real space mission. Students work with a kit and must build a satellite with size, weight and cost specifications. They must collect data from various sensors, and then they must present their findings to a panel of adjudicators. And of course, when we get the opportunity, we're delighted to host such events as this in-flight call. And for this one, I must sincerely thank Marie Walsh and all the technical team here in Limerick Institute of Technology. I'm very glad that my colleague Clara from the European Space Agency is here today to support this event. She has given a very interesting presentation about ESA's diverse activities and about how ESA supports science education and learning across the Member States. Niall Smith from Blackrock Castle Observatory in Cork has told us about many space technologies that have been pioneered in space, including identifying Alzheimer's using space software and French fries. Robert Hill from the Northern Ireland Space Office has given us many practical examples about how satellites are used in Earth observation, including the GPS on our phones, satellite navigation in our cars, and even tractors. All the students have been working very hard in their schools before today, learning about the International Space Station and how space impacts our everyday lives. They have prepared some posters with a theme of space in our everyday lives, and we have one or two to share with you now. Girls, did you prepare before you came today? Did you learn a lot about space?
Yeah.
What did you do?
We were in school and we were very lucky to be doing this because we were doing the RDS in Mary I, so we were very lucky to have a space themed because we knew lots about it.
Very good. And can I ask you, did you enjoy this morning?
Yes. It was very exciting.
And you prepared a poster?
Yeah.
Show us your poster. And now, I think we'll hand over to Portugal.
Silence. So, hello everyone, good afternoon, and 1, 2, 3. So, we had a very warm welcome from the over 200 students we have here today at Pavilion of Knowledge Science Center in sunny Lisbon. And I am Katia Cardoso, and I'm the ESA Portugal manager. So, first of all, I would like to welcome everybody at ESA, Ireland and Romania, and of course everybody across Europe that is following the streaming, and of course Toma, which will be connecting with us all the way up at the ISS very soon. Here in Lisbon, we have already had a very full and interesting day full of experiments, presentations, and science and technology. We had very special guests with us today here at Ciência Viva. And Ciência Viva is the headquarters of ESA Portugal. And as you heard today, ESA Portugal is a project dedicated to students and teachers and implementing STEM in the classroom. So in Portugal, ESA is a partnership between Ciência Viva and ESA. But Ciência Viva is not only this science center, it's a network of science centers spread across Portugal. And we have 20 science centers. And this gives us the opportunity of having a very broad geographical coverage of all Portugal and having a closer contact with our students and our teachers. And it's an example of today. We have teachers all the way from Algarve to Fundão, and thank you very much for being here with us today. And I would like to thank all the teachers from all over Portugal that are following us on the streaming. So, one of the primary missions of Ciência Viva and ESA Portugal is to promote the dialogue between the different stakeholders connected to STEM and space education. In the last years, we have had the opportunity and incentive of dozens of Portuguese space companies, universities, local authorities, and the ministry. And we see here today, in the image behind me, a picture of our Minister of Science, Technology, and Higher Education, Dr. Manuel Heitor, which was with us in CANSAT last year. And we see him here talking with all the teams at the final. We also had today the opportunity of listening to Ricardo Conde. Ricardo Conde is the coordinator of the ESA's tracking station located in Santa Maria in Azores. And he presented a lot about space debris and the future of space technology and space satellites. And from this tiny island, and we see it's only one in many, his team controls and tracks the movement of satellites and their launches all the way up to orbit. And this island has nothing more than 100 square kilometers. So it's a very tiny island controlling a lot of satellites. So here in this image, we see the Galileo constellation. And that's only one of the many technologies that we learned about today. So we learned more about space spin-offs. We also had a lot of hands-on activities that presented different examples of space spin-offs and how this technology develops, or the development of this technology changes the way we live our daily lives. We are very happy to have with us in the morning Luis Serena, the representative of the Portuguese Space Office, and he presented some of the technology that is being developed in Portugal and many of the companies that are based in Portugal and work for ESA and other space companies. We also had the opportunity of having with us a representative from ESA, Slavomir Zdisky, which presented us a bit more about ESA and the technology being developed at ESA. So in this area in Portugal has had a substantial growth. We heard there is a possibility that in the very near future, Portugal will have its own space agency, and that will be very exciting news for the new generation of engineers and scientists. Science and space in particular are areas that more and more attract the interest of Portuguese youngsters. Last year, the undergraduate degree studies in aerospace engineering and physics engineering at Instituto Superior Técnico have come on top of all entry grades in Portugal, overtaking medicine for the first time ever. This means that in a few years we'll have the best Portuguese students working in the space sector. But actually, we are already training the best space professionals. And just one of the examples is ESA's astronaut, Andreas Mogensen, who was in the ISS in 2015, and was an exchange student, an Erasmus student here in Lisbon at the Instituto Superior Técnico. So we believe that educational activities such as those of ESERA and opportunities like today bridge the gap between formal education and top-level science and technological research and motivate the new generation to become brilliant scientists and engineers. So that's why ESERA Portugal will keep supporting the Portuguese educational community, investing in training of teachers and students, as we see in the examples I'm showing, organizing teachers' trainings and continuous professional development courses to empower teachers to present these topics that sometimes are alien to their own training, their initial training, and organizing competitions to students such as CANSAT, where many students have contact with their first project, space project. And of course, for the general public, we will continue creating opportunities and interactions with the science community, such as the event today. And I think we'll have to go back to our main topic of today, that is the in-flight call with Thomas. And I think we are becoming more and more anxious to speak with him. So we'll have approximately 10 minutes before the connection with the ISS is established. All sites, including ours, will go on standby mode while we wait for the ESA moderator to start the in-flight call. So stay tuned, and the call will start shortly.